So we have spoken about the Rasha, which we translate as evil, wicked, which is not very PC. People don't like to hear that kind of word. It's not about a judgment about a person. It's about a reality of a person. If your shirt is stained, then the fact is you have a stained shirt. Until you clean it, it's dirty. If you have a stained soul, until you own the stain, you own the misdeed and cleanse your soul. The soul has a stain on it. We all have that stain. Well, at least 99.9999% have that stain. The only question is, do we recognize it and deal with it and try to improve ourselves? And that is where we're basically at. Except for all of you that come and join over here. You are BITs, Beinoni in training. Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. And today, we share it in honor of our dear David HaKohen, our Kohen that gives us blessings. Today's his birthday. Today's also the Rambam, Maimonides, Yortzeit, the day of passing. Mere 819 years ago. And we are in chapter 12. Chapter 12, we're talking about the Beinoni. Beinoni means intermediate, in between the righteous and the wicked. So the wicked individual means someone has a stain on their soul. And yet, they do wrong, or we do wrong. And we have remorse. So we fix it. We right the wrong. But we don't fix it in such a way that it's permanent. And therefore, we do no more wrong. And therefore, we're still in the category of the Rasha. The Beinoni is an individual that doesn't allow at any time, and it's not even capable of allowing it, in the kind of the space of the Beinoni, that there should be at any moment a downfall in the levushim, the garments of self-expression of the soul, meaning there will not be any action that will be crossing the line, doing something against the will of God. There won't be even something that is somewhat slanderous. Something negative that's said will never be expressed, and never will be a cogitated thought, a meditated, willful thought that is a negative thought, an evil thought that is against the will of God. That's the Beinoni. So then, the question is asked, whoa, how many people do you know that never did in their life of a Beinoni, meaning they had a life before Beinoni, right? That they had to work hard to become the Beinoni. They were a BIT at one time, like us, Beinoni in training. But now they became a Beinoni, and they no longer say anything that shouldn't be said. Right? How many people do you know like that? Probably none.
You?
No.
No, do you know?
Oh, do I know? No. I only know of someone who's no longer alive, because the Rebbe spoke about him that said he was a Beinoni. Rabbi Nisim Nemenov, great chassid. He's not alive now, but only because the Rebbe said so. Or the Rebbe spoke about, or the Rebbe Rashab spoke about the Chafetz Chaim, such a person, not even a tzaddik, but a Beinoni, because on the outside, that person looks like a righteous person. I mean, when you look at a person's behavior and you see it's impeccable, never saying anything inappropriate. Now, you don't know what their thoughts are, but never meditating on a negative thought. Meaning, a thought comes up that's negative and they push away that thought. It's pretty powerful. Where do you find such a thing? But the question is, why are they not a tzaddik then? Why are they not righteous? That sounds pretty righteous to me, right? To all of us. Because the righteous is different. Because the Beinoni does not have dominion and power over the 10 faculties of the soul. The garments of the soul, right? Garments which are the expression of the soul, thought, speech, and action, that they have mastery over. But the very soul itself, meaning the emotions of the soul, the intelligence of the soul, they don't have mastery over that. They don't have undisputed sovereignty in that manner, right? Except only at specific times. Specific times. In other words, I'll get to specific times in a moment. What does that mean that they don't have mastery? What does it mean in actuality? It means that in their consciousness, and subconscious for sure, they seek worldly pleasure. They seek, desires of the body. The only thing is, they don't allow self-expression of it. But they seek it. So they battle it. They battle with that. The tzaddik doesn't battle with it. Because the tzaddik doesn't have a desire in their subconscious being of their soul, meaning in the subconscious heart, right? I mean, remember, a heart, feelings are not thoughts. Feelings are feelings, and you give rise to thought of a feeling, right? Mm-hmm. But the feeling is much beyond the thought. Until you think it, you may not even know that you have that feeling. You're not aware of it. But does it mean you don't have it? You have it. Just didn't come to mind. So you weren't consciously aware of it. But it's there. The righteous, that negativity in the heart, doesn't exist. The completely righteous, it doesn't exist at all because it transformed it all. In the incomplete, a minuscule that is so, again, will never come to conscious thought, but still something might be there. So by the Beinoni, though, there is a desire for worldly pleasure. There's desire for, the desires of the heart of the animal soul, because the animal soul is still there. Except there's a time that for the Beinoni, that he does have undisputed sovereignty, even when it comes emotionally. That's the time of prayer. Because for the Beinoni, the prayer of the saying, the Shema, the Amida, is an auspicious time that the mind is able to bring to the heart such a love and a desire to cleave to God, that at that moment, the Beinoni has the capacity of having undisputed sovereignty, even on the emotional level. Even on the emotional level. Right? Which is quite something. In other words, because the Beinoni is able to meditate upon the greatness of Hashem to such a degree that the mind now feeds the heart, that the heart senses the love of God, a burning passion for Hashem, to cleave to Hashem through fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs, that's there. By the Shema, all the blessings that lead to the Shema, and then the Shema, because then Shema means that we have an understanding of the oneness of God that brings then to the Ahavta, that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. So the Beinoni has that capacity during prayer. But only during prayer. Because after prayer, we're coming from that, down from that lofty place, then what happens is that the intellect, through the meditation that fed the heart, that had such a burning desire to connect to Hashem, it dissipates. It's gone, right? Because now finish their prayers and going on to, whatever they go on to in a daily routine. So the desires that the heart had beforehand, seeking pleasure, enjoying this material thing for its own end, not in the service of God, for its own end, that comes back into his heart. And therefore, what happens then?
That's a struggle.
Exactly. Struggle ensues. During his prayers, he's not struggling because he got to a place. He got to, it sometimes that happens to us folks, right? That we get into our prayers or into our learning, that we're in a zone, right? That, we feel a sense of real connection, right? Oh, we don't have it like the Beinoni. We shouldn't fool ourselves. But that being said, sometimes, I'm just giving you a glimpse of how we might have some of this in our lives, that sometimes you get into the zone and, all of the outside negative influences kind of dissipate and are not real to you. And you're there. You're totally engaged, right? So it's not going to be with the love and the passion that the Beinoni has in his prayers, because remember who we are. We're BITs only. We're not a Beinoni. We're not a Beinoni. So we are in training. So yes, we might have that experience of being in the zone. And so therefore we can get a certain idea of what this is. Short class today. Any questions, any comments? Livsha has. Okay, before we get to it. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see, we have over here. Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't you have to know a lot of halacha to know what all not to say and what to say in some instance, like possible shidduch situation? Very good. Yes. So not only, do you need to be able to meditate upon the greatness of Hashem and to appreciate and deeply that the greatness of Hashem, that it feeds your heart, that you have a real feeling towards Hashem in one's davening. Of course, you also need to know Jewish law and right from wrong. What is considered slander? What's not considered slander? For example, like Livsha brings up, when it comes to a shidduch, when it comes to a proposed match, for a guy and a girl. So, what kind of things can you say about, if you're asked about this guy or about this girl, what kind of things can you say that might be negative, right? That might deter the shidduch, the match to come into into play. So yeah, so you need to know Jewish law, absolutely.
Does Rambam deal with that at all?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's not the that's not the discussion now. Okay, it's just she's just making a point, which is an important one. You need to know the nuance of Jewish law. So what does it mean to speak slander, not to speak slander? That's the point over here. Yeah. All right. Let's say hello to a new year, new opportunities. We even have Amram over here. It seems like he made a New Year's resolution. He came to shul today. Tanya Marish Chodesh. I know he thought it was Rosh Hashanah. Maybe he thought it was Rosh Hashanah. So we say hello to Davida and Liba in New York. We have Rena with us in Colorado. Andrew is in New Jersey. Joseph also in New Jersey. John is in North Carolina. We have Moshe in California. Cindy, she's in Florida. We have Tassin. Where is Tassin? Is it Karachi? That's in no. That's in Pakistan. Welcome. Okay. Suresh or David is in India. All right. Who else do we have with us? Yohanan is in California. Julia, she's in Pennsylvania. Brett is also in Pennsylvania. We have Ismail Lazatas in Poland. Lay is in Florida. Zara in Malaysia. June is in Australia. Diane in Arizona. Yeah. I missed anybody there? No. Jane is in Malaysia. Rebecca in Ottawa, close by. Lori is in North Carolina. Oops. Sylvia in South Africa. Shariz is in Israel. All right. Israel is with us. And we're with Israel. Did I miss somebody? Katrina in Tennessee. Johanna has a question. Okay. Oops. You can show people the way of Torah if you have a chance. Any person would do it. If you can show people the way of Torah, if you have a chance, any person would do it. Yes, I agree with you. On Instagram, we have with us Akoy in Peru. We have Alice in Baltimore. We have Light Torah. We have Jennifer in Minnesota. Yiddish Amedola. Yentatelaventa, New Yorkers. We have Austin. We have Elias. We have Rachel in South Carolina. We have, who else is with us? Hamid right here. Double dipping. We have Joanne in Ohio. And Daphne is in Philippines. Okay, Jane, that's where you were. I knew it was in Malaysia. Philippines, thank you. Laurie in North Carolina. Okay, beautiful. All right, folks. We will continue with the Beinoni and who we are all seeking to be a Beinoni in training. Why don't you just shut it off? Just flip it up, flip it up, flip it up. The birthday boy wanted some birthday music. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Celebrate as a Jew. With Torah mitzvahs for you. Chassidish and nachas, we should all have from you. All right. All right, folks. Rambam is coming up right now. Rambam's yard site, only 819 years ago. He passed away today. That's, recent history for Jews. All right. Thank you for joining. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.
And a happy new year to everybody.
Happy